All right, guys. So let's just go through this together to ensure that we are on the same page. All right. So for part A of the question, as you can see, I went ahead and created a lovely diagram here to assist me in explaining the rationale in answering this question. All right. So basically, we are here to evaluate what effect the increase in a substitute good would have on the demand and the supply of a primary good, in this case, which would be bread. So, when you're doing a diagram, firstly, you have to draw up your different axes. So we have our y-axis, have the y-axis here, and we have our x-axis here. So on the y-axis, where y-axis represents price, x-axis represents our quantity. So here we have quantity 0 and we have price 0. So this would be the current demand curve and price, also the quantity and equilibrium of the product that we are making reference to. All right. So as the question states, if there's an increase in the price of a substitute good here, meaning the biscuit, what would the impact be on the demand for bread? So let's break it down this way. Let's say you went to the supermarket earlier this week and you normally purchase maybe 2 cases of Excelsior water crackers for $10. And with that, you also purchase 2 bread for, say $10, just the same, right? No, let's say $15. And you return to the supermarket later that week, right? And the price for the crackers increased to $12, but the price for bread would remain at $10, all right, or $15. So what would you do? What kind of spending would you carry out in that sense? Most spenders would end up maybe purchasing an extra bread and one less package for the crackers. So that's the same analogy, that's the same rationale you'd have to use in this case, because we're still referring to the economy. All right. So here would represent price 1. As you can see, there's an increase in price. So what would this do on bread? So at price 0, let's say the quantity here would have been 10 being purchased at this price, which is the equilibrium price, right? So if there's an increase in the price of biscuit, then that would automatically mean that the demand for bread would increase. As such, the price would be, the new equilibrium price would be here, and the new quantity would equate to Q1 here. So in representing all this information here on the graph, this is how your graph should look. So P0, Q0, this represents, this area here is the equilibrium area, and you start at price 0, you then increase to P1, which is price 1 on your y-axis, and in explaining this now, if the price increases here, it will take your equilibrium price to here. So as you can see, it would be above the previous one. And then that would automatically give you a new quantity. Going to the right on your x-axis would automatically increase the demand on this side. All right. So this would be your supply curve. Your supply curve would be this line here. And then along the supply curve, you'll see the demand increases, right? And also the supply would also increase. See? So demand goes out on your supply curve, it will also increase. All right? So it's basically easy, guys. So just remember how to evaluate um, price increase of a substitute good versus a primary good. Once the price of a substitute good increases, it will automatically cause the demand of the primary good to increase. All right. So once price moves from price 0 to price 1, which would represent the increase, it will also cause the demand to change, meaning it will increase the demand. And this is my representation of the equilibrium price, and everything will change. So these dotted lines here represents the increase for part A. And normally, just to show that you understand what you're doing, you write a nice little sentence or two just to explain what your graph is saying. So it's important to have all your labels on your graphs to ensure what's going on. All right, so this is how your graph should look in answering part A of the question. And a summary would be the increase in the price for the substitute good will increase the demand for bread. All right, any questions, you can drop it in the comments, or any pointers, you can also leave it in the comments. All right, so let's move on to part B of this question. Stay tuned.